Hello, this is our weekly market alert video for the week ended October 29, 2021. And before I get into what's going on and what we should do about it, I just want to thank everybody who has participated. Last week, we announced that our corporate charity is RPOA Cares, and we are participating in the Alzheimer's fundraiser that the national organization is doing. And according to the Alzheimer's Association, we have been named the Rookie Team of the Year. And this is the world's largest fundraiser for Alzheimer's research. So I want to thank everybody that participated so far. We have until November 6th to sign up. You can either donate a certain amount so that our employees who are going to do the walk, you sponsor them, or you can do a virtual walk yourself. You don't have to actually go there and do it, or you can participate. It's happening in Dallas, but continue supporting. What we haven't told Alzheimer's yet is that we're going to match it as a company, all the contributions that everybody makes. So they don't even know what they're in for. Not only are we going to be Rookie of the Year, but they're going to get a double whammy of contribution. So it's very exciting and very great. So again, thank you guys. Click below and you can join and participate. So let's talk about what is going on. A lot of people have been asking me about, is inflation going to cause the next market crash? And all of that. And we've been talking about that here over the last couple of weeks with our podcast. But I wanted to kind of put it into a different perspective for you. And I want to look back at by the way, I'm Ken Moraif, and I'm the founder of Retirement Planners of America and the senior retirement planner at the firm also. So just so you know. But I want to talk about the worst period of inflation that we've had in modern times here in the United States. And of course, that is the early 80s. And we had hyperinflation at that time. We even had stagflation before that. It's like, oh my gosh, every kind of inflation you do not want to have, it appears we had during that time. So what are the lessons learned from that? And the reason I'm going to do this is because a client asked me, Ken, how can it be that with all this inflation, the Dow is hitting new all-time highs? What's going on with that? Well, here's our explanation anyway. If you go back to the early 80s, what you can see is that during that time of hyperinflation, we saw the stock market go up at the beginning of that inflationary cycle. But then eventually it crashed in 1982. So why? Well, the example I used on my podcast and radio show was, let's say that McDonald's charges $5 for a sandwich right now. But because of inflation and all their costs have gone up and everything else, they now charge $10 for a sandwich. And let's say that they make a 20% margin, meaning they make 20% profit. So when they charge $5, they made a $1 profit. Okay, now inflation has gone up. They're now charging $10 for a sandwich. And so they're still going to maintain their 20% margin. So therefore, they're not going to make 20% of $10, which is $2. So what just happened to their profits? They went from $1 to $2. They doubled. Now, as you guys know, we've said this many times in the past, the biggest driver in the value of a stock usually is their profits. And so if McDonald's profits doubled, what do you think that's going to do to their stock price? It may double. Now, so therefore, in the early stages of the inflationary cycle, we see a large, the stock market, and that's what it did in the early 80s. However, the problem is this. What happens soon after that is if that inflation continues, it becomes too much for the consumer, and the consumer stops buying. And the moment that happens, if consumers stop going to McDonald's, their profits will fall. And guess what happens to their stock price when that happens? It'll fall right along with it. It should anyway. So what that means is that this inflation we're seeing now is actually causing companies to have profits that they were bigger than before. Now, are they really making more money? If you take inflation out, no. But with inflation, it is in dollar terms doubling, and therefore their price is not doubling, but it's going up with it. Now, we believe that this inflation that we're experiencing now is temporary, and temporary could be longer than we want. It could be through the middle of next year or thereabouts. But as long as it doesn't go on longer than we want, what could happen is that it'll go away. And potentially what could happen is companies are charging, let's say McDonald's is charging $10 a sandwich. I'm just picking on McDonald's. It's not what's happening. But let's say that they're charging $10 for a sandwich, but their costs go down. What have we experienced in the past with companies when their costs go down? Do they lower prices as fast as their costs go down? I'll just let you sit on that one and answer that yourself. But if their price stays up and their costs go down, they could actually make more money, which would make their stock price potentially go up even more. So we anticipate that we're going to see more new all-time highs with the Dow and the S&P going into next year, as long as this does not become a permanent condition, this inflation. And we don't think it will. We think that our economy will figure out a way to fix the supply chain. People will go back to work, and we'll get back to a semblance of normalcy. Now, we could be wrong. Nothing is guaranteed here. And, certainly the inflation could be worse than we think. It could stick around longer, and it could cause the consumer to shut down. And if all those do happen, we could have a big bad bear market. And that's why we have our invest and protect strategy, because we don't know when bad things are going to happen. We don't know how bad they could be. We don't know when they could happen. The important thing is that we have a strategy that is ready to be enacted when the time comes. So it's similar to having a strategy to address hurricanes. We don't know when a hurricane's going to come. We don't know how bad it's going to be. We don't know where it's going to hit. We just know hurricanes will come. And therefore, if we're doing our job, we should be prepared for when they do. We should have our teams ready, our emergency evacuation. We should have all that ready to go so that when it does happen, the damage is minimal. And that's what our Invest and Protect strategy is designed to do. So I hope that gives you peace of mind that despite the fact that there's all kinds of scary things happening out there, and it is Halloween weekend, so boo, don't be afraid. Have peace of mind. That's what we want for you, and we hope you have. So thank you for watching this video. Share it with 5 people, subscribe to it, and get 5 people to subscribe to it as well, okay? We want as many people getting this message as possible, and you're free to do that, so go ahead to your heart's content. Get 5 people along with you. That's 6 total, and they will thank you for it, I think. So once again, thank you for watching this video, and we will talk soon.